I want to talk to you about confidence and what it means to be confident. And in my time seeing many clients, this is a topic that's come up time and again, and it's one of the most requested issues that my clients want support with is how to be more confident. This could be confident in their relationships, being more assertive, being confident at work, having the feeling and impression that they know what they're doing, that their colleagues can respect them. Confidence can take many forms. So why don't you comment below what you think confidence is? And when I've seen videos about confidence, they speak a lot about the kind of traits and personality traits that go with confidence. It's, having good body language and making good eye contact and speaking authoritatively and kind of owning up to your mistakes and all of these things that of course are markers of confidence. But the thing that doesn't seem to be kind of spoken about enough when it comes to confidence is the common theme that those who struggle with confidence all seem to share. And it comes down to self-esteem. Now, as a counselor, I work a lot with issues regarding self-esteem, how people can feel better about themselves, how they can live more productive lives and more fulfilling lives. And of course, being confident is an important part of that. However, the issue of low self-esteem affects one's ability to be confident because at the end of the day, if you don't believe in yourself, no matter what I tell you or anyone tells you to do in terms of how to act and how to think, if you don't believe you can do it and if you don't believe you're capable, then you will ultimately not be confident because you have this inherent belief deep down that you can't do it. And one of the definitions of confidence is believing that you can achieve anything you set your mind to, that you can achieve it regardless of the challenge level, regardless of the adversity, that you are able to achieve things that you want to. And it's that belief that fosters and fuels the confidence, the ability to just go and do it. Go and not be afraid of failure, making mistakes, learning from it, growing from it, persisting. However, if there's this fear of failure and if there's this inherent belief you can't do it, you may not even bother. You may be like, there's no point. And of course, because you then don't try, you don't get any outcome or satisfaction or feedback. So you stay stuck. And then you see people around you going ahead, making progress and making changes in their life, but you're still in the same place. And this adds further to the belief that you are not worthy or that you are not capable. So confidence is rooted from what my experience has shown me working with clients. Confidence is rooted with the fundamental belief that you are capable of doing it. And that's linked to your self-esteem. So how strong your self-esteem is will determine how confident you will appear. Now, confidence starts with the belief that you're capable, and that's linked to a high self-esteem. However, it's also an action-based endeavor. So you can say to yourself you're capable, and you can believe it, and you may feel confident. However, it's also an action-based endeavor so that you can go achieve it or try to achieve what it is you're setting out to. And even if you failed, if you have that belief that you're capable of it, you will exude this confidence. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're in the workplace and you're about to give a presentation to all of your colleagues. Now, in the first scenario, you don't feel nervous at all. You prepared for the presentation, you don't feel nervous. You go out, you give the presentation, it goes as you want it, and then you get feedback after, things like, oh, that was great, that was really interesting, you seem very confident. So you could say that in that situation you were confident. So let's take that same situation. But now, instead of feeling calm and confident, you feel nervous. Beforehand, you're a nervous wreck. You are so nervous about this presentation. Even though you've prepared, you're just second guessing yourself. You're wondering if you can even complete a sentence without stuttering. All of these things. But you get out there and you just focus on giving the presentation. You feel nervous throughout, but you try not to let it show. And at the end of the presentation, you feel like that went really badly. I was really nervous. I wasn't relaxed. I wasn't myself. Yet, people in the audience come to you and say, that was really interesting. That was a great presentation. Are you confident? So it's the same situation. In one situation, you felt calm. You felt confident in yourself. In the second scenario, you did not feel confident. You felt nervous. Yet you got the same feedback. So is that confidence? So the question you should ask yourself when it comes to confidence If other people that you deliver to, let's say in that situation, feel that your message was clear, that it was an interesting presentation, does that mean you're confident, or does it mean you weren't confident? If people said, oh, that wasn't a great presentation, you seem nervous, all this stuff, you could then justifiably say, well, I wasn't confident. Maybe if I was more confident, relaxed than myself, it would have been a better presentation. However, if the people in your audience said to you it was a good presentation, does that mean you're confident? So the point I'm trying to make with this is that we can be so focused and bogged down in what things determine confidence. Like giving eye contact and speaking clearly and feeling relaxed and feeling sure of ourselves. But to be honest with you, we are not going to feel sure of ourselves and relaxed and confident in every situation. We are going to be nervous. We're going to be second guessing ourselves. We're going to be anxious about what the future holds. We're going to be fearful about what's coming up. We're going to be fearful about saying the wrong things. We have all of these pressures and anxieties festering within us, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we are not confident. We can hold these things within us and understand that we are feeling nervous or anxious or on edge. We can understand these things. Yet it is our ability to navigate these stresses internally that, in my opinion, determine our ability to portray confidence. And it's the navigation of difficult times, which for me is what confidence is about. It isn't just about being the coolest and calmest person in the room. It's about how you can successfully navigate difficult emotions and regulate yourself in order to not let those emotions overwhelm you. That's confidence. And that is what people see. It's the fact that you're going through a stressful time, yet you're making clear decisions, even if it's not the right decision. It's not about right or wrong. The fact you're making decisions and you're not allowing the outcome of those decisions to impact you, and you're not letting the heat of the emotion to impact you. That's confidence. And all of this ties, in my experience as a counselor, all of this ties to your self-esteem. So the next time you ask yourself, thinking, am I confident? Look into your self-esteem. Do you believe in yourself? Do you feel good about who you are? Do you have doubts about who you are? Are there any thoughts that are overwhelming? Are there any emotions overwhelming? And if they overwhelm you, that's what needs your attention. Not necessarily giving yourself, although this can help, but not necessarily just giving yourself affirmations or, positioning your body a certain way. Of course, these things help, but it's about getting to the core of, why do I have this belief or thought about myself that's so overwhelming? Why do I feel a certain way about myself? And why is it so overwhelming? Why is it getting in the way of me expressing myself authentically? Why is it getting in the way of me just, being able to manage this situation? Once you get and address those issues, confidence will naturally arise as a result of that. So don't go necessarily chasing confidence as an outcome. Look more into your state, how you feel and think. That determines your state, and that determines how you present to the world. And it's amazing, even though you might be nervous, if you understand you're nervous and you've done the work on yourself to be aware of it, and you're self-aware, you can navigate that to the point where you can appear confident. Even if you don't feel it, you can appear confident. So confidence, in my opinion, it's a bit of an illusion. It can be an illusory thing. There is no set path to be confident. At the end of the day, I could be calm talking to you right now and I feel pretty confident in my message. Or I could be really nervous and kind of thinking, no, what's about to come out of my mouth? Does this video even make sense? Yet, I'm speaking in a way that appears to be confident. So confidence is a bit of an illusion. So you've got to look at, in my experience, how you feel about yourself, what you think about yourself, what things get in the way, what emotions or thoughts overwhelm you. Understand where that comes from. And when you understand that and you develop your self-awareness, confidence will be a natural product that will strengthen over time as you learn to trust yourself more and you learn to trust in your capability. Even if you fail, you know it's okay because you have this inner belief in yourself that you can do it. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment below what you think confidence is and whether this video has spoken to you in any way, and I'll see you soon.